Witch Cat. Once there was a young man named Kowashi who lived with his old mother in a small Japanese village at the foot of a mountain. They were happy, respectable people and lived their lives in the simple, good way. There was just one thing the young man used to wonder about. His mother used to be a gentle, sweet little woman, but when she got to be about 80 years old, he began to notice that she had long, sharp, pointed teeth. She used to eat her fish raw and even seemed to enjoy crunching up the raw bones. One night, a fish peddler of that village was walking home through the mountain pass after a day's work at the market. He had not sold all his fish that day, and those left over were in the fish basket which he carried on a pole over his shoulder. He was not afraid of night robbers because it was a bright moonlight night, and he could see every stick and stone in the path. Suddenly he was set upon by a whole horde of cats. They smelled the fish in his basket and were determined to get it. He fought them off with the long pole, and he fought so smartly that finally the cats gave up the fight. Then one of them said, "Go call old woman Kowashi." "That's funny," the peddler said to himself, for young Kowashi and his mother were his neighbors in the village. So the man quickly climbed into a pine tree, wondering what would happen next. It was a bright moonlight night, and the man could see the path and all the cats in their shadows as plain as day. Soon one of the cats said, "Oh, here she comes." Another said, "Here comes old woman Kowashi." The man looked, and what he saw was a big, tough, old gray cat coming through the pass. "Oh, you won't give us your fish," all the cats said together. So the big gray cat climbed up into the fish peddler's tree. He was lying stretched out along a branch. The cat crawled out along the same branch until she came to him, eye to eye. Inch by inch she came near. Each of her sharp claws looked 6 inches long. What could he do? Suddenly he remembered that he had his fish gaff with him. A fish gaff is a heavy barbed hook with a wooden handle used for hauling heavy fish into a boat after they are hooked. Quickly he grabbed the fish gaff and gave the big gray cat a whack on the head. Just about then the sun peeked over the horizon. It was morning, and all the cats instantly vanished. One minute they were there, and the next minute they were gone. Just like that. The fish peddler climbed down the tree and hurried home, and that morning he went and told young Kowashi the whole story. The young man listened and nodded his head. He had noticed a cut on his mother's head that morning. He had asked her what caused it, and she explained that she had stumbled and hit her head on a stone in the garden. But young Kowashi suddenly understood, so he took his long sword and cut off her head at one stroke. Then he looked down, and what lay at his feet was a bloody, old, gray cat. Not long after this, Kowashi discovered that the wicked old witch had killed his real mother and buried her in the garden.